Welcome back to Couch Collectibles. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. As always, we are looking at some old wheat pennies that nobody really talks about that can be extremely valuable in some cases. So we're starting off here first with the 1941 Lincoln wheat cent. Now, this penny here has been broad struck, which you'll see around the rim of the coin, and the coin has been graded and authenticated by NGC as a mint error coin. The coin's not in the greatest condition. It's graded at a 65, which is good, but it's graded at a brown. Now, when they grade pennies, you're either going to get a brown, or red. Red is always the best, but this coin still sold for around $70 at auction because of that mint error and because of its grade. Now, next up is something you can look for on all kinds of other coins as well, not just 1941 pennies. This coin has a curved clip, which you can see there on the left side of the coin. Now, this penny ended up selling for $41 at auction, graded by PCGS this time at a mint state 64 brown. So always look for the clips. Here is a straight clip taking place on a 1941 wheat penny that sold for $74 at auction. This time it's graded by Annex. So three different coin grading companies that I would use: Annex, PCGS, and NGC. PCGS and NGC I would use for, higher end coins, maybe 100, 200 on up. If you know your coin's only going to be worth 25 bucks or 30 bucks, probably better to go through Annex because it's a cheaper, more affordable service. But yeah, if you have a really good coin, go with PCGS or NGC. So $74 for this penny with that straight clip. Now, 1941 Lincoln cent, one of my favorites of the video because it's one of my favorite type of mint errors. This coin has been double struck, which gives it an extreme amount of value. The coin is graded and authenticated by NGC, and this penny ended up selling for over $2,700. That's right, nearly a $3,000 penny. But here's an example of a coin that you can look for that is not as noticeable as the last double strike. So this coin has been double struck as well, but it's only 15% off center, that second strike. So it's a lot less noticeable, of course, than the previous double strike. This coin ended up selling for over $400 at auction, graded at a mint state 64 brown as well. So always pay attention to your coins because you never know what you may find out there. Now, here is another double strike, but this one is much different, very noticeable, an extreme type of mint error here. This coin graded by PCGS ended up selling for over $430. Moving right along to one of my favorites, I know I've already said this, but one of my favorites of this video because this is something that everyone can look for with your coin microscopes, with your coin loops. I'll have a link to that below in the comments below this video. Now, you have to keep in mind, this coin here can be passed up so easily. All you have to do is search for this underneath your coin loops or coin microscopes. Look for doubling on the lettering. So for the 1941 wheat penny, it's a very common coin. It's not rare to have a 1941 in circulated condition like this. However, it is rare if you find one with this type of doubling on the phrase "In God We Trust," on the word liberty, very, very visible doubling that, isn't really talked about a lot on the 1941 penny, but you can look for that on the date as well. And yeah, there's a couple different examples of that. So there's going to be all kinds of different doubling that you can look for on different coins, on different dates of coins. So keep that in mind. On this date here of the 1941, you can really see it to the left of the 1 and the 9. So inspect your coins very, very closely. You just never know what you may find because it can give those coins a lot of value. Real quick, guys, if you want a free coin book or a free coin roll hunting mat, there's no catch. All you have to do is click the link below this video, go over to Whatnot, sign up, and you get a $15 credit. Then you go to my Whatnot shop, and all you have to do is add one of these items to your cart, check out, and you get the $15 off. We're going to be doing coin auctions as well on Whatnot, so feel free to come over there. That's the only place I will be live streaming selling coins, silver coins, old coins, modern coins, graded coins, ungraded coins. We're selling it all on Whatnot. Couch Collectibles. Make sure you guys go follow me. Let's get 10,000 followers. We can do it. Get over there right now. Get that link in the comments below. Now here's a 1941 that was struck onto an elliptical planchet. You can see that the design is being cut off here, and this coin ended up selling for $81 at auction. Moving on to a lamination error taking place here on the obverse of this wheat penny. It is graded and authenticated by NGC. The coin ended up selling for $21 at auction, so not a super rare mint error. You know, if the coin was in better condition, maybe it would have sold for a little more. But laminations could take place on all kinds of different coins, not just 1941 pennies. So $21 for that penny, but let's move on to a major lamination taking place here on the 1941 wheat penny. This coin is actually in worse condition than the previous coin, but the coin sold for $47 at auction because, it's a much larger portion of the coin that this lamination is taking place on. But let's move on here to a very nice Lincoln cent graded at a mint state 66 red. So your pennies will either grade at a brown, brown, or red. Red is always going to be the best, of course. Now this has a lamination error as well, but it's taking place here on the reverse of the Lincoln cent, and it's a retained lamination, so you can see that piece of metal there. Now this coin is the 1941 S wheat penny that sold for around $70 at auction. And then here's a penny that's sold on eBay for $96 that has a reverse lamination as well. Can't really see this one as well as the previous one, but this coin ended up selling for $96, graded by NGC. Now here is an ungraded example of a 1941 penny. It is the S mint mark. It's in very circulated condition. It looks like any old 1941 wheat penny would, but as we flip the coin over to the reverse, you'll see that extra metal there on the rim of the coin. That is what is known as a die break, which we also refer to as a cud. Cud, die break, same thing. Now, even though this coin's not in very good condition and it's not graded, because it has that nice little die break there, the penny ended up selling for $144 on eBay. So keep that in mind. Those things can give your coins value as well. You can look for die breaks on all kinds of different coins, not just 1941 pennies, and some can be much larger than this, some can be even smaller. Typically, the more larger it is, in most cases, the more the coin will sell for. Just depends on the coin, the condition, and those things as well. Now here's an off-center error taking place on a 1941 penny. The coin sold for $65 at auction, and you can see that there around the rim of the coin. Very obvious type of mint error. You can look for off-centers on all kinds of different coins as well. Now here is a very expensive coin, 1941 penny here, that sold for over $850 at auction because it was struck onto a 10-cent silver planchet. So this is where a penny design, a Lincoln cent design or wheat cent design, was struck onto a mercury dime planchet, because in 1941 they were producing silver mercury dimes. This is on a dime planchet that they would have used for mercury dimes, and that's why the coin sold for $853, even though it has a lot of damage to the coin, unfortunately. But man, what an error coin there. Now here is a 1941 wheat penny that was struck onto a thick brass planchet. So it weighs 3.34 grams as opposed to 3.1 grams that it's supposed to weigh. Now actually the price on this surprised me tremendously. The coin is graded by Annex at an AU50, and the coin sold for nearly $500 at auction. Moving on to a tilted partial collar taking place on the 1941 S mint mark wheat penny here. You can see that there around the rim of the coin. This penny ended up selling for $47 at auction. Now something to know about the 1941 S mint mark wheat penny is that there is a large S and a small s. This is an example of the large S. Here's an example of the small s. So two different types of S mint marks there. Now for the large S, you want to look for a repunched mint mark. Here's what that looks like. One example of that repunched S mint mark, and it is the large S. You can see that here as well on a much better conditioned 1941 wheat penny. Again, a repunched mint mark, an RPM on the S mint mark there. So that's something you want to pay attention to as well. Now here is a coin that sold for over $575 because it was struck through a retained piece of fragment. Of course, you can see that they're going through the coin, pretty obvious. But yeah, that's something you could look for that, you know, is super rare to find. You know, that's why the coin sold for $575 in this condition, graded at a 30. You know, a 70 is the best you can get on the coin grading scale. So a 30, not so great condition, but with that error, that's what gives it the value. Now we looked at that thick planchet. Here's another penny that was graded by PCGS. Where the Lincoln cent design or the wheat cent design was struck onto a thick planchet, weighs 3.4 grams, and it's basically an improper metal mixture that made this happen to where the coin does not weigh the correct weight of 3.1 grams. So this coin ended up selling for over $500. About the same price as the other one. All right, now here is a 1941 wheat penny that sold for over $3,700. That's right, nearly a $4,000 coin. And the reason it sold for that price is because we have a 1941 wheat penny design that was struck onto a Panama 1 cent planchet. So it's struck onto a Panama coin planchet, and that's why it sold for $3,700 at auction. So always pay attention to your coins, guys, because you never know what you may find. And don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Feel free to check out those videos to the left of me. And until tomorrow, I'll see you guys in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.